Well, hello again, my little mathematicians. We are going to do some more practice with volume, both in drawings and word problems. Let's go ahead and follow along on page 437. We're going to do problems 3 through 6, okay? So let's take a look at problem number 3, okay? It says find the volume of each rectangular prism. So volume of a rectangular prism is area of the base times the height. Well, the base shape is a rectangle, and the formula for area of a rectangle is length times width times height. I know you guys are so over me saying this so many times. You're like, why can't I just jump to length times width times height? I don't need to care about this. This will finally be one of those times later in this lesson today that you'll see why it's important to realize where the length times width times height came from. But I jump ahead of myself. Let's go back to this problem. Okay, length is 8 3/8. What is 3/8 as a decimal? Well, type it into your calculator. Take the top divided by the bottom. 3 divided by 8, type that in, and you get 0.375. So 8.375 is the same as 8 3/8. My width is 6, and my height is 8 1/4. So 1 divided by 4, hopefully you have that memorized, it's 0.25. If not, just type in 1 divided by 4. Okay, length times width times height, go ahead and plug those in, and you should get an answer of 414.5625, and it's meters cubed. Now let's pretend, because later on they really are into rounding. What if it said round it to the nearest tenth? So here's my answer, and then the tens place is right here. Look at the number behind it. That 6 tells this 5 to go up. So, and there's no such thing as go down. It's either this number stays whatever it is or it goes up by 1. If this number is 5 or above, this number should go up. If this number is 4 or below, then this number stays whatever it is. So this is going to go up to a 0.6 meters cubed, or cubic meters. Those are saying the same thing. So 414.6 cubic meters is the answer for number 3. Or you could have put 0.5625. I just wanted us to practice rounding again because it's been a while and sometimes they ask you to do that. Okay, number 4. Again, asked to find the volume and area of the base times the height. This base is another rectangle, so length times width for area of the base times the height. My length is 5. My width is 6.5 or 6.5. And my height is 2 1/4 or 2.25. Go ahead and plug that into your calculator. And once you plug it in, you should get 73.125 cubic feet. What if I was asked to round it to the 10th? That 2 tells the 1 to stay a 1. What if I was asked to round it to the 100th? Well, that 5 tells this 2 to go up, so it would be 1.3 cubic feet. Okay, so 73.13 cubic feet if I was asked to round it to the 100th, 73.1 cubic feet if I was asked to round it to the 10th. Since I wasn't asked to round, let's just leave it as 0.125. Okay? I know I'm throwing a lot of random extra at you. Don't you love it? Okay, our next one we're going to do is problem number 5. It says the volume inside of a rectangular storage room. And even if they didn't say like volume, remember your hint words that it's talking about volume is if they're talking about the inside of a 3D shape, or they use the word cubic something. Those are some other words that they might give you as an indicator that it's talking about volume, even if they don't specify it like they did in this problem. Okay, so the volume inside a rectangular storage room is this many cubic feet. The room is this many feet high. Find the area of the floor. You're like, wait a minute. Normally they tell me like how many high it is and like either the length or the width, and I have to find the one that they didn't tell me. What is this? Well, children, this is why I always say, remember, volume is area of the base times the height. So they told me the volume is 2,025 cubic feet. Find the area of the floor, which is the area of the base. Haha, that's why we always start it that way. And then the height is 9. So this is actually easier than some of the other problems that we've done. So you have 9b equals 2,025. How do you solve for the big B? Well, get rid of that 9 by dividing by it. 9 divided by 9 is 1. So now you have 1b equals, we'll divide this by 9. 2,025 divided by 9 is 225. So 225 square feet. And if you did, remember that that's standing for the area of the base. So feet squared times the feet for the height makes feet cubed. Feet squared times feet is feet cubed. And that's why volume is feet cubed. Look at all that you're learning today, all those little extras. I know, you're like groaning right now. Come on, Miss Love, I'm so over it. I know, I'm torturing you even when it's not school in session. All right, number 6. It says an aquarium holds 11.25 cubic feet of water and is 2.5 feet long and 1.5 feet wide. What's its depth? Notice that this one didn't tell me, like, wait, is it asking for surface area or volume? It didn't tell me, but your indicator was that it said it holds this much on the inside, and it used the word cubic feet. So that was my hint that, oh, it's talking about volume, okay? And it's an aquarium, which we know is a rectangular prism, and a rectangular prism has a rectangular base, so length times width times height. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. It says that the volume is this many cubic feet. So there we go. And then my length is 2.5. My width is 1.5, and we don't know the height. So go ahead and multiply 2.5 times 1.5, and you get 3.75. To get h by itself, you're going to divide by 3.75. Whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other. Well, 3.75 divided by itself is 1. So now you have 1h equals 11.25 divided by 3.75 is 3. And we were talking about feet, so it's 3 feet. And it's just feet because we're talking about the height. So 3 feet. Look at that. You guys just reviewed so much. We talked about rounding and volume of 3D shapes and even complicated word problems. If you got all those right before we went through them together, congratulations.